But the problem is, if you amend the Constitution and you are the incumbent president, you have all the resources to get what you want. Extension. Kung ginawa 6 years, you want to make changes, make it another successively, walang limit, fine. But you should not benefit from it. That is really what democracy is all about. Yes, Kaduaya,
Sir, what made you change your mind? Previously you said no for DI, no for ignorant the Constitution. What happened?
Change my mind?
Yeah.
I never changed my mind.
Change of position.
I never changed my position because there is only one position. Hindi naman ito kama. Ang ano doon is really, there is only a term limit of, I said, you should bind yourself to where you are or where you are placed. At or is, I don't know which is the proper.
So you don't want a president who is second term of office. So say with the senators.
Again?
You don't want the president, a president, or any president.
It's obvious. That's why the Constitution says one term only. So you do not have the privilege of being elected again. You just follow the intent ng gumawa ng ating Constitution. In other words, do not, I mean,
Yeah. Good. Mayor, they are saying, after the Cebu prayer rally, it changed a lot in terms of perspective. Vis-a-vis of the Constitution. Constitutional discussion person. Why?
no, I've always been a stickler to, you can, if there's a record of a history of my public life stint in government, I've always been consistent. Ayaw ko yung, I never craved for any order than what is given to me by law at that time. Wala ako.
If you were to suggest what provision, what economic provision in the 2087 Constitution should be amended?
I don't care if you make the economics libro dyan sa...
Patay mo na yung mga...
Huwag mo na pakyan naman yung Constitution. Sa may provision sa libro ng encyclopedia kung gusto mo. Let us not, beat around or find excuses to just huwag na tayo magbulahan dito kasi matanda. We've been wrong in dito sa gobyernong ito, tumanda tayo. Nakilala kita, naka-short pants ka pa lang. Sa bariya, kadabad-labad ka man sa asking questions.
You're saying that you're fine except the term of office. So if you are fine, which one should be amended? And which part of the economic?
Wala na, kasi dapat doon, kung elected ka doon lang. But if you can do it na i-amend mo, but the problem is, if you amend the Constitution and you are the incumbent president, you have all the resources to get what you want. mong bilhin pati yung barangay captain. So, what result would you want? Huwag na tayo magbulan dito sa Pilipinas. Sabihin ko, ipadahan natin ng referendum, plebiscito. Bilat. Kung gusto ng presidente, the resources are there for him to utilize. Pagkabobo naman niya pag hindi mo matalo basta. Whatever it is, a referendum or a plebiscite or a result of a votation or whatever.
Are you saying that if you are going to amend, it's going to be a done deal? Because it's
I am saying that it's not the time to make changes in the Constitution. The Constitution is good, very good, the best that we have ever produced. Do not
Okay, go ahead.
yes, ma'am. Ang imong kadibang imong anam guol mo marang sino kadako ng yawa.
Siguro message ni Mr. Segurari, you mentioned na you will support for the Chiquilla position as long as President Marcos will commit to the people that he will not violate or
No, it is reminder that even presently you are not supposed to do it. Ayan na sinasabi ko. Bahala siya. But you begin to tinker with it. Yan ang sabi ko. Do not tinker with the Constitution. Don't. And it applies to all presidents. Don't. Especially prolonging your office there. Don't. Other amendments, fine. Pati congressman, pati masama talaga. Ano? Well, ganito na lang. Gusto mong baguhin from ngayon 6 years, you make it 10 years for one term. Maganda. Pero baka sa pangalatlong dekada na yan, huwag ngayon. Kung meron man tayong gawin, hindi para sa atin, para na sa mga ating anak. Huwag para sa atin, kasi yan, that would trigger a lot of friction in society. Magkakaroon ng initana eh. Sana kung kami lang mga politiko, we have to deal with the population, we have to deal with religion, kasi ang religion naman natin, we have to deal with the military, we have to deal with the police, we have to deal with the security guards, we have to deal with the CAFGO. Puro may armas yan eh.
Let's
supported President Marcos in the economic chacha. Could you give us a rate from 1 to 100 as to how many?
Natugdahon man na luspad na ganit eh. Okay? Pero ito.
Sir, pwede niyo po mabigay yung rate niyo, 1 to 100, yung supported po kay President Marcos when it comes to economic chacha.
100.
if you are going to rate his presidency against that proposed chacha, what grade will you give him?
The proposal for what? You have to have, you have to, you know,
Economic chacha daw.
if you make me choose something, make a face on the other side. Cha-cha.
Yeah.
Cha-cha. But, okay. Walang problema. As long as I said, do not tinker with one particular sentence there about the presidency.
Yes, right.
Mayor, we got your point on the term limits, that you would be okay with it for as long as it will benefit the current officers. That's term limit. How about the form of government? What's your take on it?
I'm comfortable with the presidential type of government natin. It's a Republican form of the government, presidential type. Huwag na natin palitan kasi yan na yung naabutan ng lolo ko, naabutan ng apo ko. Huwag na natin yaga-yaga, wala nang maibang putak. Kayo, kung wala na kayong ibang pag-isip, magpunta kayo doon sa likod ng bahay ninyo. Tingnan ninyo kung walang tao doon. Ano ang gawin ninyo? Wala, anong gusto mo? O kaya kung maubusan kayo ng ideas, bakit mo iba? Ilang beses ba tayo mag-fix ng constitution? Flawed one? Okay, we make changes. What else? What needs to be done? Something else? Good. But not the prolonging of the barangay captains, nor of the president. Not good. Kung meron man, i-apply yan.
Mayor, resource, implement po sa allegation from a Senate resource person at the Senate Inquiry alleging that you and Vice President Sasot received a box of guns from Mr. Apollo.
Kami magtanggap ng bill kay Pastor Kibuloy. Ako pa ba ang deliver sa kanya ng kanyon bukas? Ang machine gun. That's a very stupid proposition. It's silly. Bakit pa si Pastor mamigay ng baril sa akin? Saan siya makuha? Kung magsabi siya wala siyang baril, bigyan ko siya. I'm about almost collectors category ako eh. Ibig sabihin, bili ako na bili, pero hindi ko magamit. I can only use one. I can carry gun only one of the entire collection, maski mag-abot ng 50 million. You're only allowed by the authorities to carry one gun, not even a rifle. Hunting, maybe. Shotgun, okay. But military hardware, wala nga ako eh. All that I had before was military, pero MR. Because sitwasyon, alam mo na, mayor ka, punta ka ng bukid, hindi mo na malaman kung sino yung kalaban mo. Hindi mo talaga alam kung sino ang gustong gorgor sa iyo.
Only 500
Huh?
Yeah.
Wala eh.
Collection. It constitutes private army already. You have one. Even if it's collection.
Yes. Hindi ka collector kung iliquid na. Collector is collector. You collect and collect and collect. Hindi ito BIR. Collection ng firearms ito.
Okay, Alan.
Mayor, sa highlight sa statement ni Pastor Ramon, people lines brand from the CIA, self-take kanina CIA office
Well, I could not really say that I can validate his statement independently yung salita niya. But what I can say is that maybe somehow his life was in danger. Alam mo, ang kaso niya sa Amerika hindi naman dito. Wala naman kaso ni Presidente, si Pastor Tuloy dito. He's free to move around. And the process there extradition. So it's a long process. Hindi rendition with a military. Extradition. It was a treaty.
William siya bang pa-extradite, but this is an extraction.
Malit na kaso yan. America would not go into that. America would not waste its time violating a law.
Instead of attending to the session, is it possible? Arrest ko na siya na hindi siya dumadalo and sa cemetery.
Sino?
Si Pastor Tibuloy. Arrest siya kasi pinapainbitahan siya, isusuko na siya. If he doesn't really appear, pwede ba yan?
May I hear you the word again?
Report siya sa Senate. Sabina siya, Sabina. Will it lead to his arrest?
Well, I'd like to ask you a question. What is the equivalent of the word subpoena? It's not an order. You cannot order an ordinary citizen like me to compel me to report to you. For what? We don't want. Or if outside the national interest that you should appear, we begin to question you, what is the significance of that interest? Kaya pastor yan, kung gusto niya, hindi.
So, makakita sa DUTERTE.
It could, because a unreasonable refusal. So maybe the first is in Bina is more like a subpoena for same effect. It can compel your attendance. Pero ako naman, hindi niya, ang ayaw niya, ano mo gusto na ganyan? Wala mo na nakita na of national interest yung
Another topic na Mayor.
Yes.
Our PNP right now seems to be involved in a lot of cases millions of pesos na yung nirapaw nila, yung content, kinuha na more than 40 million of these yung sila ngayon. At wala pong trial na nangyayari dito. I've seen politician po na makarami ng bodyguard na ako ng tabaco. What is happening with regards to peace and order?
well, national leadership should Alam mo dito sa Pilipinas, wala naman talagang ambos araw-araw. Alam mo, pasikatan lang yan. Ako personally, I do not need. Pinipilit lang nila yung pulis sa akin eh. Pero ako, I'd rather, if somebody has to die today, tonight, tomorrow, mas mabuti pa ako kasi matanda na. Kaysa mga pulis, may pamilya pa yan, may mga anak pa. What the heck about going around with so many bodyguards? Kung hambog mo lang yan? Para sa takot lang yan? All you need is a gun, maybe and 2 balls. Pag isa lang itlog mo, yan ang problema. O 3. Either isa or 3. May imbalance eh. 2, tama lang.
Okay.
They have been mentioned all the road. Ang paaprobahan naman sa munisipyo is economic provision lang o basic law. Dati, paaprobahan nila sa Kongreso o niagin sa munisipyo, suportahan ko ang kampanya pagkakatuhan ang pagkakatiba sa mga.
Come to think of it, you know what? Even if they will touch on everything there in the charter, in the Constitution, I will not mind. But make it progressive. Huwag lang mag-benefit tayo kami. Hindi na ako. Yung nakaupo yun. Huwag mong habain yung bituka mo. Gusto mo na a longer term for the next president would be good for this country, or there will be no limitations at all for as long as he remains to be a loyal and a good public servant. Wala ka tayong problema lahat. Kung hindi naman santo, pero kung tao na matino na nakaupo dyan sa Malacanang, it can stay forever. Ang problema lang ganito, nag-iisip ako ng malalim. Problema kasi si Jesucristo gusto mo talaga matino dyan, Jesucristo yan. Kung tao yan, pandor dito. The temptation to make money here and there. At may command. Yan ang bantayan ninyo sa inyong inihalal na mga officials.
Mike?
Yes, waiting, sir. Gusto na ako mga question sa status ng position na the status of position natin before when you said that we will be separated from the Republic.
Vis-a-vis whether we are alam mo sa totoo lang for it all declare lang. Sabihin ko lang kasi sa na look, you guys, when you think of legislation, we think of your work there as a secretary or as a senator or congressman or whatever. Think always of the Republic of the Philippines. Huwag ninyong pabor-paboran yan kasi hindi lang kayo ang Pilipino. Parang ano lang yung pitik lang yung reminder, gentle reminder na, shape up because hindi pa naman tayo pagkatribo lahat. Yan nga ang problema eh. Punta ka doon sa Ilocos, hindi ka lang kung taga-Bisaya ka, magpunta ka doon sa Pulo, hindi tayo magkaintindihan. Kung taga-Mindanao ka, magpunta ka Luzon, tulala ka palagi. Baluktot ang Tagalog mo, o ang Bisaya ng Tagalog, mukhang Espanyol pakinggan sa tainga ko.
Madam Mayor, what do you make out of the voting points sa Senate hearing ng First Committee, Senator Aratiles, about kay Pastor Apollo Tutuloy, not only implicating you, but also dragging along your name and the Vice President's staff?
Wala,
What do you make out of it?
anong sinabi niya?
Dragging, getting statements from alleged witness that you're somehow involved in gun exchanges, transactions involving firearms,
Involving
transactions involving firearms. Sa Badong able to also witness that that particular witness saw you and the Vice President bringing that back to the firearms from Maxwell.
Ako ang supplier ng firearm dito, hindi ako naghihingi. Matagal na akong supplier ng firearm, bata pa ako.
Has the pastor reached out to you when the Senate hearing started, especially when witnesses started to come out, alleging all these things as a pastor involving you and the Vice President, and reach out to the same pastor?
You know, there are always, we never run out of silly or idiots in government. Let them be. Komportable sila dyan. Komportable rin ako dito.
Sharon?
Uy! Si mama pala ito.
Senator Aratiles has warned that Pastor Digong will be cited in contempt and will be arrested if he does not show up in the Senate hearing on March 5. You are his friend. You are Pastor Digong's friend, and you are a lawyer. What is your advice to Mr. Friend?
Get yourself arrested. This is a free country. If you do not want to go there, get arrested.
You will ask him to cooperate.
I'll give him the free choice.
Can I go back to that constitution?
Yes, what about?
You said a few minutes ago that you are comfortable with the presidential type of government. You all know that the campaign for president to run for president.
Yeah, it does that. Let me correct you right. It doesn't mean that it is federal in the presidential time.
Let me finish my question first. You said you are in favor, wag na natin palitan, napunta ng Jojo, napunta ng Bagong. But in 2015, when you campaigned for the presidency, you pushed for a shift, to change the constitution, to shift to a federal system, right?
You're right.
Okay. But you had the first half of your term, you had a super majority. Well, even up to the end.
Look, it's just
Why did you not muster enough political will to get that shift to federal system?
to answer your last question. Because wala akong enough political will. Check actually, there's not much different about a federal. There's no incongruity there. Look at America. It's a federal union of federal states, United Nations. It's federal. it's presidential type government. Or, I do not see any wala akong nakitang ano doon problema. Pero
Do you not regret that you were not able to do as you promised with everything?
you cannot have your cake. May ang Diyos may ibigay sa iyo, may hindi. So, hindi lahat ng kaligayahan na gusto mo makapkap mo sa mundong ito. There will always be disappointments.
And this was your big disappointment.
Well, I'm talking to you about life. Nothing's perfect.
Ano po? Kanina,
Ayun pagpo na to kay
sinabi niyo rin that your call for Mindanao, independent Mindanao, which you did on January 30 in Wednesday. You said it was just pity.
well, that was really
It was
that
pity.
that was a legit dream yung mga taga Mindanao. Because Mindanao is frontier country. It is not inhabited by originals except the natives and the Moro people here. So, yung dream of separate, looking at a certain place, like my father and mother, migrating toward an island called Mindanao for a better future for the children. Yun ang dream. It's always the dream of some people to be independent. Pero if it causes a rupture in our entire, I will not go for a forced carving out Mindanao out of the Philippines.
Are you saying now that it was just a pity?
I am not. I'm not.
There were no takers?
I'm not saying any different, really. Actually,
Kasi wala namang, after you made the call, there were of course reactions that you cannot do.
well, I said, sinabi ko,
So you're saying that now because
give us a better deal for Mindanao. Well, if you studied history, Mindanao has always been a poor relative vis-a-vis with the entire country. Ang Mindanao noon, the least for so many years, consistently the lowest in getting public funds for our stock. Kaya tayo pinaka-late nag-bloom. And that was the complaint. Kaya it fueled the revolution. It encouraged people, and some Christians joined the Moro people in clamoring for an independent Mindanao. Klaro yun eh, especially the earliest settlers dito. Na dumating na ang panahon na lang, maganda na ang Magunoy noon, hanggang Rocky Road.
Nawawala, no?
that there was never the slightest moment that I was thinking of placing the interest of Mindanao over and above of the entire needs of the entire country. Kung ano lang ang sabihin ng economic planners at ano lang sabihin ng mga Department of Highways and everything, at unahin muna natin ito because I am not as bright as anybody else. I might be a lawyer, good in memorizing. Hanggang dyan lang, memorize. Pero to be an enterprising thing about governance, malayo. I cannot claim.
Pinaka-last na lang po. Kasi hindi nyo sinagot.
Ay, kadili, may di ka po mo undang tindog na mo.
Nawala, no? Wait lang. Kuha tayo ng magandang ano. Kuha tayo ng maganda. Ito, maganda signal. Ito, wait lang mga kababayan. Hanap tayo ng magandang signal. Mahirap din, nawawala. Pero ito. Try natin to. Para sure tayo. Ako, nawala. Yun. Wait lang mga kababayan, ha?
At unahin muna natin ito because I am not as bright as anybody else. I might be a lawyer, good in memorizing. Hanggang dyan lang, memorize. Pero to be an enterprising thing about governance, malayo. I cannot claim.
Pinaka-last na lang po. Kasi hindi nyo sinagot.
Ay, kadili, di ka po mo undang tindog naman ko.
I think somebody asked, but you were not able to answer it earlier. The question was, are you going to Manila or prayer rally after another rally in
Of course not. What for?
So, the Cebu rally of the last.
It's just a pretext just to go home to say the alam mo, Cebuano always yearns to see sorry. Any slightest excuse to be there. Pero sabihin ko just to be at the moment because it is demanded. Okay.
So there's no schedule for now.
No schedule. If you are asking the question in terms of what would be in the future of this country, and what would be your views or opinions if this would occur or happen or not. I'm retired. I would like to stay retired. I do not want to meddle in politics. Maski na sa mga anak ko, if they can carry the burden on their own, kampanya lahat na gusto ko magpahinga na. But, Carlor, maya ko lang sabihin sa iyo, 40 anyos na gud ako. And if you would want to be comfortable with the number, double it. And that's why.
Mayor, also yung last na update ni Guzman Alvarez sa IM on finishing the number one.
Ako talaga, I cannot magprangka ako sa inyo. This is for all, and I would repeat it now and forever. I do not want my country dismembered. I do not want a part of my country taken away. I do not want my country to be disturb physically, even the slightest. It goes for Luzon hanggang Pulo. Yung nagising ako sa mundong ito, Republic of the Philippines, for as long as I live, it would be the same Republic of the Philippines.
Were you saying a different thing, Mayor, last time when you said that you would want Mindanao to separate from Mindanao? Do you did that?
Sa kadang intriga ko, intrigadura ka yun. Separate. Sa mo, magtiayon, kayo mag-separate. Hino, diha.
Because you don't want to use the one system.
Ha? Panghadlok mo lang na. Mas paano? Para, yun nga kabito. Ba't pas di mo magsikagyaw-yaw? Ba't yun ang kasyong bana? Ikaw mo yaw-yaw, biyaan ka. Wala na.
There were lots of sectors, military officials saying that they don't support it.
Lalabin ako. Ayaw nila, mas lalo ako. Mas matanda ako nila, buwang sila.
Even if you agree with us, share our income, but people said it's time for Mindanao. People should study it.
You can craft it the way you want, legislation, or we go into a deeper local autonomy. You can never do what you want. Let it remain a republic of the Philippines.
So no more talks about Mindanao, getting out of the Republic.
Yan lang ang problema. It's the distribution of the national wealth. And you know very well, lahat tayo, if you studied your history, lahat tayo, alam natin that Mindanao was really a poor relative of the national government. Ngayon lang ito, nakabawi tayo. Nung presidente ako, hindi ko nga sinabi na bigyan mo lamang ang Mindanao. Patas. Hindi mo naman sabihin na presidente ako, gusto kong bumawi na, o nagkulang tayo noon, ngayon panahon ng bumawi. That ain't the way of being a Filipino. Kung ano yung, what's good for the Hulihano, must be good for the Ifugao, must be good for the Tagalog, and must be good for the Visaya. Why? If you have to remain a republic, ganun talaga, you better adopt that kind of thinking. Hindi tayo pwede mag-isip-isip na mga Tagalog, Visaya, or kalukuhan yan. Ngayon pa, katanda-tanda na natin, may mga anak na tayo, ngayon pa tayo mag-isip ng ganun. And I'd like to sabihin ko sa mga Pilipino, stop this. Separate. Na pagmulat ko sa mata ko when I was born, this was a republic. Ganun na. Huwag mong kunin baski kalahating hektarya yung Samal Island. Magkagulo tayo. Even if you take 1 hectare away from Samal Island, yung bayan ko, yan. Huwag mong galawin. Pag hindi, magagera tayo.
Mayor,
Listen, when you said you want people to be educated, for a legal bound that Mindanao to be a separate country from the Philippine Republic. You got it wrong.
Sabi ko sa iyo, pang-atik lang yun. Ano ka ba? Kung hindi mo ganunin kasi yung mga taga-Maynila, parang sipain mo yung paa, adrip. Putang ina mo, hindi lang ikaw ang Pilipino, ha?
Nabuutan rin lang yan, pag mato.
So, lang to Mayor, and they will be so serious.
Nag-cool down sila.
Not because of a bluff, but because of a strong statement coming from a Filipino. Adre, hindi lang kayo ang Pilipino. Lahat ang mga minuno natin nagpakamatay sa bayan natin. Do not.
So, it's dead. May talaga independent movement. It's dead. Okay.
Silly.
You still have another question, Ro?
If at all, kung mayroong mag-declare ng independent state, kung gusto lang nila, payag ako, Samal Island. Yan. Gusto na mag-declare ng independent Samal Island, sali na lang talikod para may sila bakasyonan.
Ro,
Mayor, I still have to, Mayor, yung drug addict issue kay President, ano pa rin ba yung challenge mo kapag drug test?
Drug addict issue.
Challenge mo.
ano?
Ay, still drug challenge ba?
Si Presidente, wala akong sinabi na ganun. Ma'am, you have to, even if you kill me 1,000 times, wala akong sinabi na. Taking a drug. Pero kung sabihin mo, addict, wala akong sinabi na ganun. Patayin ako ni Marcos niyan. Maawa ka naman sa akin. Matanda na ako. Ano sinabi noon? If I can say it for to Marcos, I can say it for all. Ayaw inawa kay antibiotic na to, kay aspirin. They're all drugs. It's just nomenclature. Pero wala akong sinabi na patayin ako ni Marcos niya. Takot pa naman ako mamatay ng matanda na ako. Gusto ko pa mabuhay mga another hanggang mamatay si Kaduaya. Magsabay kami.
Mayor, 8 months na lang po kayo mag-election ng mga marami sa kayo yung mga tao when pushing you to run for mayor.
Ayoko naman.
Political plans for 2025.
Let it anybody, not even from my family. You know, corny pakinggan. But if you count the number of years that my father was in public office, isali mo ako. Pati isali mo yung, idagdag mo yung sa mga anak ko. Masyado na.
Okay, just
Maybe
one last,
high time na iba na naman.
just one last question. That question would come from me. Okay. Mr. Mayor, you said something about our children's future. Inday Sara, in all the surveys, had been on the top, most trusted, most approved, and her department, the Department of Education, has been declared as the most trusted government agency in the country today. As a father, what can you say about the performance of your daughter?
Well, I think that she's just following my record. Hindi lang na-record properly. Kasi si Kaduaya kasi yung tikuha ng figures noon sa Manila eh. But I am proud that she's been doing good at public service. Taking into account that, my father has always been, for the longest time, the governor of even the city of Davao before. There was only one Davao, one province, one capital, Davao City. And we used to elect the governor of the entire Davao province and Davao City. So, ganon. At ako naman, I would like to thank you, although belatedly, I suppose. Salamat po sa mga tao for the number of years given to me as a rare privilege to serve my country as mayor, as congressman, and eventually as president. I just hope that hindi ako nagkulang sa tao. Pero ganun pa man, maski na pahabol na lang ito, ginawa ko talaga ang magagawa ko at wala akong ginawang kalokohan kailan.
Mayor, what's the update of the sa
ICC. Sabi ko sa kanila, mag-usap na lang sila ng ICC rin dito. Total, magkapareho silang pangalan eh. Yes, you talk to each other, maybe you can understand.
Mayor, the support of the president is para maipinan nila arrest. So you said the previous press conference, you were telling the president to have his
No, ganito yan. I would like the president to seek the advice of his legal counsel. Kung ano yung sabihin niya sa mga abogado niya sa Malacanang, sundin niya. Ako, I can take care of my own. Kaya kung saan ba yung ICC na yan? Kaya pasalvage na mong yawa mo. Pakialam nila. When my country was being eaten by drugs and everything, nandito ba sila? Putang ina nila. Sabi ko sa kanila, putang mo dito, sabi ko, putang ina ninyo. Panahon na natin dito, nagpatayan tayo dito, police ko din, patay dito, patay doon. Patayan tayo ng mga Pilipino. Saan itong mga putang inan to? Where were they? Yung kinakain ng mga anak natin ng droga. Hindi ang droga ang kumakain sa mga anak natin. Saan sila? Putang ina. Sabihin nyo, tatapos, turuan pati kung anong sabihin nila. Sampalin ko sila. Totoo, kung may makita ako na foreigner magsalita sa akin harap na, pag hindi kita sinampal. Ano? Wala mang preso yan. Guilty ka agad. Did you slap this idiot of the associated whatever? No. Pakialam kayo ng pakialam, hindi naman kayo nakakatulong. Sabihin ko nga, look, idiot, if you are not really an idiot because you are an idiot, sino ba naman gustong pumatay sa kapwa-tao niya? Kung may gusto man akong patayin kayo, kayong pumunta dito sa bayan ko. Noong mga minuno namin na walang alam, pumunta kayo dito, you occupied my country for so many years. Spain for 400 years, Americans how many years? And you talk like a shit. Ang ina niyo ba kung turuan? Talk about human rights. How many years of oppression? Nagtiis tayo sa mga kamay ng mga banyaga. Tang ina nila. Tapos kung magsalita ka no, look who's talking, ika nga. Wala tayong turuan. Ako ba? Bakit ko patayin Pilipino? Kasi gusto ko pumatay ng puti. Sila yung may kasalanan, hindi yung Pilipino. Eh, ngayon, kung Pilipino ka naman and you're fucking with drugs, destroying the mga bata, ibang istorya yan. Sinasabi ko na, tsaka ako nag-warning. At ang warning ko, walang para-para. Wala akong qualified or condition. Huwag mong gawin yung papatayin kitang putang ina mo. Lagi.
Here nag-usap pa kayo ni Pastor Digong in person or recently, at saka may idea ba kayo sa kanya whereabouts kung nalipot pa sa Philippines or parang wala sa
Si Pastor,
ako.
sabi ko sa Afrika mo ka muna matago. Kaya hindi ka mahalata doon. I really do not know. I do not want to. He's on his own.
Pero nag-usap kayo.
Alam mo naman, presidente ako, tapos, well, I started as a prosecutor, fiscal, mayor, president. I cannot afford to double with yung mga ganitong mga bagay na ito. So, alam naman niya, kaya niya, he has the resources and all. And he has a lot of brains to navigate his way. Paano niya paikot-ikot sa buhay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor President. Thank you.
Salamat.
Ito na kay Patay. Patay na.
45. I'm leaving for the US on March 15. I stay there 5 months. Kaya mga anak na akong yan. Salamat.
March 15.
March 15. Leaving for Manila March 15, the following month. Ngayong March 15 ko, Alex. Tomorrow, by the way, 2 o'clock today. Karunguntan. I'll be leaving for Manila.
Hintayin natin mga kababayan, baka may announcement.
Then leave for Manila.
Hintayin po natin, baka po may announcement mga kababayan.
Badong.
Huwag mo lang si Bong.
Ha?
Huwag mo lang si Bong.
Si Bob?
Unang-una, sabihin mo lang, just remind me.
Okay, sige. Badong ko lang ito.
Uli na kasi kailangan kay Patay.
Kamo mag-god kasi ito,
Oy, ako na rin sa kan.
ito, agit ito eh.
Kuya, sir.
Agitator talaga. Marunong magpagalit ng ano, kaya na,
Gwapo kayo mo kasi.
asa?
Gwapo ka kanina. Ako ah.
Hindi na ako tinatina o.
Gwapo ko.
Ay mo, nang kawas ah.
Nalibak. Oh, nalibak ka.
Hasta kilay pa.
Oo, nalibak. Oo, nalibak.
Ako, hayok na nakita na ko.
Dili kang bago pa matan. Road widening.
Sir, picture ko sa inyo.
Ah.
Long time.